Hello and welcome. We have some breaking news here on BBC World in the last few minutes. There are reports from Hong Kong which say that Edward Snowden, the American analyst being sought by US authorities on espionage charges, has left the territory. Now, these are local media reports which are saying that he boarded a flight bound for Moscow, although it's not known whether Moscow is indeed his final destination. We can now get the very latest from John Sudworth, who's in Hong Kong. Now, John, just 2 hours ago, we were having a chat about the extradition process between the States and Hong Kong, and now these reports that he's left the territory. What can you tell us?
Well, I can now tell you that we do have confirmation from the Hong Kong government that Mr. Snowden has left Hong Kong. I can't give you any further detail at the moment, but it does look as if the report carried by Hong Kong's South China Morning Post is accurate and that he has indeed boarded a flight to Moscow.
Do we know why Moscow? And there are also reports coming through, I think, that that might not be the final destination. It might be Ecuador, it might be Iceland. Is this just speculation, or is there a little bit more to go on?
Nothing more at the moment, and I think there will of course be a lot of speculation as to why he's been allowed to leave. Of course, a few days ago Mr. Snowden was here on a tourist visa. He had not at that stage, as far as we knew, been charged with any crime, and he would of course have been, in theory at least, free to leave. That status changed of course when the US formally charged him with espionage offences and an offence of theft. America had said that it had begun talks with Hong Kong about extradition, and it wanted to see that process completed speedily. There were warnings, with some Washington officials quoted as saying that any attempt to drag feet over the issue would damage diplomatic relations. I've just a copy of the Hong Kong government statement by my colleague here, and let me give you the detail. It says Mr. Snowden has departed Hong Kong to a third country through legal channels. The Hong Kong Special Administrative Region government has notified the US government regarding his departure, and there is no further detail than that at the moment.
John, that's interesting, because that's really the first real concrete statement we've had from Hong Kong authorities ever since the US pressed charges or outlined this idea that they wanted to charge Edward Snowden. So they've been quite quick to comment on the fact that he's left the territory.
I think what it will inevitably mean is that there will be speculation that all along this has been a real political headache for the administration here in Hong Kong, possibly also for the government in Beijing, that it is a problem that in the end they have wanted to wash their hands of. And I think some people will draw the conclusion that the reason that the first really concrete statement from Hong Kong is the one that Mr. Snowden has left speaks volumes about the way it has seen this developing story as a real political thorn in its side, and perhaps it's taken the easy way out. Of course, we don't know. There may be other explanations as to why he's left, where he's going, but it looks like, certainly from this statement, that the US was not informed in advance. But again, at this stage, that's reading between the lines of this statement, and we'll have to wait for further comment.
John Sudworth there in Hong Kong with the very latest on breaking news reports that Edward Snowden, the American former National Security Agency analyst, has indeed now left Hong Kong and has boarded a flight for Moscow, although where he goes after that we don't know yet. Okay, let's move on to another developing story.